And it's done. So, and I'm part French, so... Hello out there, wherever you are, and welcome back to Learning the Good Life. It feels like the seasons are changing here in northeast Scotland. It's decidedly autumnal, very early, it's only late August. But before we say goodbye to summer completely, I thought we'd just have a little recap of how it's gone. It's been our best summer here, by far. We've grown loads more food, used loads more food, and enjoyed ourselves and relaxed a little bit. I've done a bit of preserving. I've made pestos, obviously the cowboy beans had to feature. We've had some parties, friends, family over. I've done a retro Parma ham and melon salad. Here's all the produce. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's been delicious, really proper good. We've still got stuff left in the greenhouse, and there's still things to preserve. Okay, so, thank you, Becky, for filming. I'm really hot and sweaty after digging that pot into the ground for you, but I hope your chickens are okay.
Thank you. I want to go watch the Formula One, so hurry up.
Becky wants to watch the Formula One. I've got to go quick. But
surprises. Yes, oh my God.
They are ones. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Having extensively researched this subject, we just watched a 3-minute video on YouTube. We think this is how a cheap way of plaiting, braiding garlic. Anyway, we're just going to give it a go, and it doesn't really matter. But we're trying to learn the good life, guys. So this is jute. Well done, mate, for hydrating.
Good boy, hello, baby.
You just tie up 3 like that together. This is what the American woman on the video did, and she seemed pretty happy. Okay.
What are you tying it with there?
That's jute, spelt with a J.
Thanks. Good.
I learned that off Becky earlier on in our life together. And if you want to go and look it up, you can find it in the Learning the Good Life diaries. So then she put one off to the right, put that down the middle, and braided it with that one over the top. Yeah, this is looking like a right dog's dinner. Thought you might be interested. And then she did another one on that side, down the new middle, and braided it with that one. Yeah. And last of all, we'll do another one there. Yeah. And basically...
Would you like me to have a go at this later?
And it's done. So, and I'm part French, so...
That's true.
There. You know, it's up, innit? There's nothing like a properly bunched up lot of garlic. And this is nothing like it yet. You can fill in the gap. Still, it's up. Whatever. Garlic. So just in terms of autumn watch, some of the trees we've noticed are just starting to go, but we're wondering whether it's that or whether the leaves have been dried out by the winds of Storm Floris and all the rest. Speaking of Storm Floris, I'm here on a mission to salvage as many of these plums as I can, because we noticed last week they were all here and they were green. Now, thanks to Storm Floris, most of them seem to have fallen on the floor with this lot. They've all gone, and those that remain are being eaten by wasps, because as we know, as you'll have experienced if you're in the UK, it's a massive wasp year this year. Apparently they come every 4 or 5 years. So, they're not totally swamped by wasps, so I'm going to try and not get stung and get as many as I can in there. The next shot will be how many I've got. Yeah. It's a lean year for plums. Lean, lean, lean. I got what I could reach and wasn't rotten and wasn't being eaten by wasps. I don't think I'm quite going to be making plum jam again this year. Never mind. So, as you can see, this window is in the process of being fixed. It should get finished off today. What we've been doing, this is the 3rd time this has happened, is that these old windows in high winds just get blown out. We were lucky this time, quite fortunate, because as far as I can tell, none of it went on the grass. Last time we had this patch over here was covered in shattered glass. Anyway, so it has to be removed, and rather than get it windowed. That's not a word, is it, Nick? The guy suggested, and I think it's a good idea, just as a temporary fix, because we don't know what we're going to do with the steadings yet. It's just needing to be prevented from rain getting into this top level and destroying all the wood inside. So all we do is we just slate over. So that was the first one. You can't even tell anymore because he matched the slate so well, but it was, yeah, you can sort of see there. Second one is easier because the slates didn't match as well. Again, aesthetics not the priority. And I wasn't surprised that after Storm Floris a couple of weeks ago, we had a third. So it's a fairly decent chunk of change every time it happens. So obviously we're not happy that there are still another 5 or 6 of them, but it's what we've got to do to own the steadings. You know, it's a part of the deal. And one day we might be able to do something absolutely fabulous with this. We're not sure. Could be an Airbnb, could be used for us. This bit we quite like the idea of using as a party barn. I'm going to have a teenager in 1 week's time, so being able to host parties would be nice for him. But yeah, I think I'm going to do a steadings special at some point in the future. I'll take you inside all the different spaces. I'll show you inside the byre a bit more, and you can see just what a I'll probably include this building as well, which is the shed. But yeah, you can see just what a liability we've taken on and are currently not really using except for the Dutch barn, which is, as you've seen before, is providing lots of uses. So that's something. Whole thing covered with asbestos, of course, so expensive to remove the roof. Anyway, roofs, expense, Storm Floris, money. I really must finish this gate. Okay, it's a couple of days later since that autumnness chat, and you can just see it's getting worse, and the BBC's actually done an article about it. See all the yellow coming in on the trees, and through here it just really feels like autumn. There's actual leaves all over the ground through here. What's happened is the trees have got stressed and they're panicking and they're just getting rid of all their leaves. They've just gone into survival mode, basically. And it's been caused not especially by the wind, but by the heat. We've had 4 heat waves this summer. And again, not as bad up here as it's been elsewhere, but it's been bad enough to, I mean, look at that. So basically, we're getting autumn early. It's not great news, obviously, for the trees. I'm sure they'll survive. They do drop branches and stuff too, which has been happening. But it's also bad, obviously, got knock-on effects for the rest of nature. So the insects, the birds, they find it hard. The bees are starting to pack up, apparently, a bit early for winter. Sadly, it doesn't affect the wasps. In fact, it might even benefit the wasps if it still stays a bit warm. But hey, they don't seem to be too bad right now. But yeah, look, I mean, look at this scene. You can see the leaves are falling. And it's mid-August. It's all reasons to be cheerful, though. I mean, our family loves autumn. It's not proper autumn. It may look like it, but it's, you know, the nights haven't started drawing in too badly and the temperature hasn't plummeted, so we don't have the fire on of an evening and all cosy and warm. So it's more just the way things look. But yeah, definitely feels like the end of the summer this week. We might get a few more nice sunny days, and I doubt we've done the last barbecue. I mean, I'm not someone who needs much convincing to do a barbecue, and I'd probably still do it all the way through the winter if it wasn't a risk that it would be blown over. So it does tend to live in the garage for the winter, but I'll certainly keep it out until October if it's still the odd nice day. All this early autumn also explains why the orchard has come so quickly, we had thought, into life. You know, these are basically ready. Look at the size of these. I mean, we've eaten a few already. They're great. They're here. So I think we'll be making our apple juice and possibly some cider this year. I don't know. I need to find some time. But yeah, autumn's here in the orchard too. Last thing I'll share with you is that we had a bit of excitement / worry last night when Becky spotted a pine marten, which we know are here, but we hadn't seen any, and obviously they're quite elusive things. And it was on Chickenopolis, so it was scoping out our girls. So I did a bit of last minute evening patching up work of the chicken wire, because there were a couple of little holes. I mean, the pine marten, much bigger than I thought they were. Very, very big, almost fox-sized. And they probably could have got through the holes, so I've done the best I can, and they're not burrowing underneath, that much I know, because the hardware cloth has got that covered. So it's all we can do really, is they're as safe as they can be in there. Just here he was. Hi girls, still 4 of you? Yeah. Well, let's hope you can remain. Here's my patching up jobs. Did a little bit here, there was a little hole. Big bit around here. This was the main offender, because you've probably seen on previous videos, it was like a big D that had just worn away from this thing basically. It's obviously going to need replacing a lot. I don't know whether, having looked at him, I don't think he could get in there. Because he was a big unit. But yeah, bit of excitement. He was a beautiful creature though, looked really cool. Anyway, pine martens. So we'll start to bid summer a fond farewell and really start to look forward to the joys that autumn and winter bring. Obviously there's Halloween and Christmas, but beyond that there's what happens in nature. I'll be talking about it a lot on this channel. I massively respect what nature does with itself over the colder months, and we see a lot of it here because we've got plenty of cold up here. For now, I'm going to leave you with this lovely shot of our woods. And next week, for my son's birthday, we're setting up a big camping party for him, and I'll be making what my kids have called the best chips they've ever had using our homegrown potatoes. So watch out for that one. Meanwhile, thanks for watching. See you next week on Learning the Good Life.